It's also a place to learn more about our business's appetites and ambition. There is a lot of expertise in this room, and we want to hear your thoughts, so please don't hold back. I have every confidence that our conversations will put South Africa on the path to even greater growth and success. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
And if I now could invite His Excellency, the President, to address the forum.
Thank you, Program Director. Ministers who are here, starting off with my sister, Kemi, who gave me a ride in her wonderful car coming over here. A grand car indeed. Thank you for coming here, to all of you, for being willing to spare your time to engage with us on the opportunities for greater commercial as well as economic partnership between the United Kingdom and South Africa. Let me say at the outset that when Her late Majesty the Queen invited me and my delegation to come to the UK, and when she passed on, which we all regret and pass our condolences to the people of the UK, we thought that the visit would be postponed forever and in a day. But we were pleasantly pleased when His Majesty the King felt that his mother's wishes should be carried out and that we should still come over for the state visit. And it has been immensely successful through all the various activities that we've been involved in. We've just come out of 10 Downing Street, where we had really wonderful discussions with the Prime Minister and a number of other ministers, including my sister Kemi here. Most of you who are here represent firms that have a fairly detailed knowledge of South Africa in terms of the challenges that the country faces, as well as the enormous opportunities that abound in South Africa. Many of you who are here are actively invested in our economy and have been so for many decades. You know the attractions of South Africa, and these include market access. Aside from the size of the domestic market, South Africa has free trade agreements with the United Kingdom and the European Union, AGOA. Over the past 4 years, we've been putting in place the African Continental Free Trade Area that Minister Patel, sitting next to me here, has been a very keen driver of, together with his many other colleagues on the African continent. And that trade pact will connect 55 national economies and more than 1.3 billion people on the African continent. The legal instruments have been completed, and countries and customs unions are now finalizing their tariff offers with the intention that trade will commence in earnest next year. A number of UK companies have attended the South African investment conferences that we have held since 2018 and have made significant new investment commitments during those conferences. Bilateral trade is at its highest between our two countries, with goods and services, as we had earlier, worth almost £11 billion being traded between the United Kingdom and South Africa in the 12 months ending June this year. Exports from South Africa to the UK are estimated to support about £140 40,000 South African jobs, which is quite significant, a number that we would like to see growing on an annual basis. The UK is the largest foreign investor in our country, and several South African companies also have a presence here. So it's not a one-way investment track, it's two ways as well. It is our intention and our ambition to substantially increase the value and the diversity of both the trade as well as investment in both our countries. While there are many attractions and huge potential for investors in South Africa, there are, admittedly, a number of constraints on economic growth as well as social development. For more than a decade, South Africa has been confronted with a shortage of electricity. We have taken urgent steps to remedy this dire situation by significantly and rapidly increasing the construction of new generation capacity in energy. We have accelerated the procurement of renewable energy and have removed many of the regulatory hurdles to greater private sector investment in embedded generation. And we are working very closely with our power utility, Eskom, to improve the performance of their fleet of power stations, many of which are rather old, more than 40 years and so. We are undertaking far-reaching reforms to improve the capacity and competitiveness of railways, of ports, and to open up our telecommunications industry and to improve the supply of water and improve our infrastructure. We have also established mechanisms from a funding perspective and an implementation perspective of infrastructure in terms of project preparation to improve massive infrastructure investment. We have embarked also on processes to cut red tape and to reduce regulatory hurdles that hold investors back. We've taken decisive steps to tackle crime and corruption. Our law enforcement agencies are being rebuilt and are being provided with the necessary resources that are needed to prosecute those responsible for criminal capture as well as corruption and the capture of state institutions. We're strengthening the ability of our police and our security services to respond to economic crimes such as extortion and damage to infrastructure. It is important for the South African government to understand the issues and also the concerns and expectations that you as business people here in the UK have on us. We are therefore keen to hear from you on what we need to do further to encourage you to increase your investment in South Africa. We have in the past listened very carefully to some of the concerns that you have raised, the issues that you have raised with us, and we have taken dramatic steps to address a number of the issues that have been raised with us. We also would like to know in which sectors do you see the greatest potential for collaboration, and what partnerships are you exploring where you may need our help? If you are involved in the South African market, what has been your experience of doing business there? I look forward to a useful discussion that will take forward our efforts to strengthen the economic ties between our two countries. And as I said earlier, the economic ties, and indeed the various ties, both political, at governance level, at cultural level, and many other levels, have been quite extensive. Today, I will not talk about the sport side of things in the light of the match that's going to take place on Saturday. So let's leave sport out of our discussions and focus on the economic side and the governance side. So I do thank you for your presence here. Your presence here really adds to the really wonderful visit that we have had here to the UK, and also to the meaningful discussions that we have been having. We just had a discussion now with the Prime Minister, and we put forward some of our very keen proposals. And one of them, which will please most of you who are here, who do imbibe in the type of thing that I'm going to talk about, is to increase the quota of wine exports from South Africa to the UK. And we want that to double. And we did say to the Prime Minister, that does not cost the British government anything. In fact, what it does do is for South Africa to bring joy and happiness to the UK. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Your Excellency, for a wonderful speech to start our business forum, and we really welcome your openness and willingness to engage with British and South African business. I think at this point the ladies and gentlemen from the press are going to leave us.